ESPN 100.7. And a merry welcome to Pittsburg High School alongside Avi Sharma with Shelby White back at her KSHQ studio. I'm Cam Molina. Well, for first-year head coach Chris Krotz, how about a big-time double overtime victory yesterday against a very talented Chanute Blue Comets team, earning his first victory as the Pittsburg High School girls basketball coach. And this team, Avi, led by star-studded freshman in Madden Petty, has looked very good throughout the first couple of games this season, and especially last night, dropping 31.
Well, Cameron, last night was the game where Coach Cross would grab his hand and just swipe across his forehead, get the sweat off of there as they dodged a bullet, getting their first win. Heck of a game that was, as it was a very intense matchup throughout, and it was good to see these girls get the victory. You know, get the overextended pressure getting out of their system now, and now they can move forward and play this Joplin team right before the break and get another victory here and be prepared for next year, because Cameron, next year is going to be tough.
It will be difficult, but you're able to take a victory away from an SEK opponent and add it overall to your win column. You may not be in the position you thought you would be in with such a young team, but these girls are learning. That is what Coach Krotz stressed to me, that this team is improving day in and day out, whether it be through practice or off the court in their academic lives. This team is always trying to find an area that they can gain and earn experience in. And with that, we will step aside for a few moments and we will bring on Pittsburg High School girls basketball coach Chris Krotz, and also welcome in the Joplin High School girls basketball coach and Jeff Williams. So don't go anywhere. You're listening to Homer Purple Dragon Athletics on ESPN 100.7.
It's that time of year, Christmas shopping. Stop by Jock Knits to get your Christmas list checked off. All new Adidas and Nike arrivals that look so cozy for men and women. Jock Knits Sporting Goods has new Brooks and Adidas tennis shoes arriving daily. Fit the season for leggings and half tip. Jock Knits Sporting Goods down and parts. Everything you need to spring that Christmas.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
Checking account pay you up to $15 per month.
It's the knowledge that you become part of something more.
We're a family of crimson and gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out.
Without standing apart.
You belong
at Pittsburg State University.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union, with locations in Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
Well, guys, I think most teams had the lead and then lost, would have kind of folded at that point, but your girls did not. They continued to battle. Can you touch on that fight?
I just have a very strong-willed team. They're really tough mentally, and they just keep plugging along. And I was proud of it. Yeah, we made turnovers out of the press, but we also got some layups out of the back end of the press because we didn't lose our aggressiveness. So yeah, we made some mistakes, but we also got a final bucket that we scored to win it. Was because we kept our aggressiveness. Like I said, I think as we mature, we'll take care of all better press and late in the game, in tight situations.
Coach, it was a full team effort to win. One player that really stood out, I've talked about for several times, but Madden Petty, she's just a freshman, 31 points. Can you just touch on that a little bit, but also how her teammates set her up, the willingness for the upperclassmen to set up underclassmen in that situation?
Oh, yeah, I think that the team understands that Madden is talent on offense and the floor, and I think we got a pretty selfish team, and they care about winning, and whoever gets there that night, they're okay with. And yeah, I thought Matt stepped up and hit some big shots, and I also thought there was a few stretches there down the end that our defense stepped up, team effort, and got some big stops. So overall, even though Madden had a lot of points, overall it was still a good team effort, offensively and defensively, to get a good win.
Currently talking with Pittsburg High School girls basketball.
And yeah, it's been tough all around, and we're dealing with some sickness right now as well. So that you just throw all that into it, But the good thing is we know we got a break after tonight, and so we can just go give it all tonight, and we don't have to leave anything in the tank. So,
Coach, you're going up against a pretty good Joplin High School team. I know Jeff Williams has been over there for a couple of years, coached on the boys' side. Can you touch on them and what you guys need to execute well on tonight?
Yeah, again, it's going to be taking care of the ball. Taking care of the ball is going to be a point of emphasis for us all year. It's just, making sure that we get the best out of every possession we have, get a good quality shot every time. And, a turnover is, doubly bad because a lot of times leads to transition for the other team. So, yeah, taking care of the ball is going to be key tonight. And, again, we're just trying to improve on our half-court defense, trying to get a full game of focus and effort. And I feel like we're really close. And like I said, we're pretty tired right now, but, we got a break coming. We're going to give it all we got tonight. And like I said, if we can take care of the ball and play good half-court defense, I think we got a pretty good shot.
Once again, that was the Pittsburg High School girls basketball coach, Chris Kratz. We'll be back with ESPN 100.7, your sports headquarters, in 2 minutes.
Customer first, safety always. It's not just a tagline, it's the Watco way. By focusing on safety, each and every day they build a future by protecting their customers, team members, community, and the environment. When Watco moves commodities by rail, river, and road, at home or across North America and Australia, their priority is to ensure that they deliver their loads safely and on time. Watco wishes all area teams a safe and successful season.
I had no idea you did that.
That's what I said when I learned CDL does more than just electrical work. Like plumbing, heat and air, security cameras and alarms, generators, solar panels, even signs for my business. CDL really is one company that has a solution for about everything in my home and business. Learn more at cdlsolution.com.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
Hello, and we welcome you back to ESPN 100.7, your sports headquarters. Cam Alina, joined by Joplin High School girls basketball coach Jeff Williams. Coach, last time out you take on Seneca. Down at halftime, did a great job rebounding. Your girls were able to exude some resiliency. Can you touch on your girls' ability to fight back and also that contest?
Well, we've been, working on their on disposition, as you will, to be a little bit tougher and to take some setbacks and fight back from it. And I think that was a good mark for us to come back from that deficit at halftime. And that's something in past years we haven't necessarily been able to do it consistently. And we're hoping to do that this year. And we were very pleased with our girls' effort in that second half.
Coach, you played some very high-caliber opponents this season. You participated in the Carthage tournament, played Mount Vernon. You did falter in that contest, but also taking on Neosho and Lamar, who each have one loss. Can you just go through how your girls are learning and gaining valuable experiences by playing these tough opponents?
Well, I'll tell you, the first of the year we were a little concerned about turnovers, and in a Neosho game, they press the whole game, and since that time, it has not really given us much problem. I thought, we didn't include the Webb City game. Webb City really gets up and down the court pretty well, and we really handled their pressure, I thought, really well. Lamar was a good test for us because they were a bunch of senior-ridden girls that were very physical, and we definitely felt like we should have won the game and didn't come away with the win, but played those girls tooth and nail and led for most of the game until late. They hit a couple of good shots, and were able to pull a victory out from us. But our girls are progressing every game, and that's what we've been wanting to do, is make sure that we are getting better every game. And like I said, our coaching staff, we're very pleased with what we see, and we're looking forward to a contest with Pittsburgh. We got this started a couple years ago, and I think it's a good, you want to call it a border war or whatever. I think it's very good for both communities. And I know Pittsburgh struggled, but I think got Chanute last night, and they're capable of doing some good things. Epa freshman hit 31 last night, so we've got our hands full trying to guard her. So we're looking forward to the challenge, and like I said, I think our girls are really progressing well.
Currently talking with Joplin head girls basketball coach Jeff Williams. Coach, you talk about the progression of your girls. Most of your players are senior late, and can you touch on, one, having those girls in the mindset that a senior has and just their composure on the floor, and two, how they've been leaders for some of the younger players on your team?
Well, I think you're exactly right. Our seniors have been good leaders for us, and I think that's why our group is so cohesive right now. Our girls like each other, and our seniors are doing a good job of making sure that happens. And one in particular girl, Jessica Zingel, she started for 3 years and played her, as a freshman, played a little bit for us. And she's just a tough, real gritty kid. We're looking forward to hopefully a good long season with a lot of success with these girls. And I appreciate what they've done for our program.
And Coach, players play well because of the coaches. It starts with them, and then it starts with the players and buying into your system. You and I talked prior to the interview, and you said you want your girls to play 94 feet offense to defense. Can you talk about instilling that mentality and the demeanor in them?
Well, I think that we've done a couple things that I think help us. We don't practice long stints once we get started in games, and I think that's helped them emotionally, knowing that if we want to demand them to play 94 feet, I don't think you can stretch long practices out, because I think the effort starts to dwindle. And so we've done that since our first game, shortened them up a little bit to go over. But we're very, very pleased with the way our girls are playing hard right now.
Coach, last question. Simply put, game before Christmas break, how large is this game coming up?
I think it's a big game for us, and win or lose, we just want to feel really good about ourselves and the effort that we're going to put out, in tonight's contest. It's very important, I think, that we go into break carrying the momentum that I think that we built up. So it's a good challenge tonight to get a road game over here at Pittsburgh, and we're looking forward to that challenge.
Once again, that was the Joplin head girls basketball coach Jeff Williams. We will return to ESPN 100.7 Your Sports headquarters in 60 seconds.
If you are injured in an accident or on the job, it is vitally important that you hire the right attorney. Before choosing an attorney, you should make sure they have the resources to fight large corporations or insurance companies. Your attorney should have extensive trial court experience and a track record of success. The Spigarelli Law Firm, with offices in Pittsburgh and Coffeyville, has the experience, resources, and reputation to provide the quality representation your claim deserves. Fred Spigarelli has received the top rating from his peers with the Martindale-Hubbell Independent Rating System. His firm has the resources to hire the experts and physicians needed to properly present your claim. The Spigarelli Law Firm has successfully tried cases for over 40 years and taken numerous cases all the way to the Supreme Court. Call the Spigarelli Law Firm today at 877-409-7931 or visit their website at spigarelli-law.com. You can also find them fast in names and numbers. Be sure to get reliable information when you choose an attorney to represent you.
Let's go back live courtside.
And a merry welcome back to ESPN 100.7, your sports headquarters. Avi Sharma, Shelby White back at our KSHQ studio. Cam Molina with you. We are 4 minutes away from the opening tip-off between the now 1-4 Chris Krotz-led Pittsburg High School Purple Dragon girls basketball team and the 3-6 Jeff Williams Joplin Lady Eagles. And Avi, for the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons girls basketball team, a 72-70 double overtime victory versus Chanute. Several things stood out in that contest to me. One, the ability to win on the road against an SEK league opponent. And number two, this team's ability to grind out victories. And what I mentioned to Coach Krotz during our interview is that some teams who lead by 15 at one point in the game, much like the Dragons did yesterday, and then would implode and potentially give up that lead, tend to fold at times. You know, you have the lead and then that morale begins to dwindle away, and at that point you just lose your confidence. But this team did not, despite their youth. They did a great job of making sure of sticking with their game plan, coming out and performing to the best of their abilities.
Yeah, Cameron, I think it was all about putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and that's exactly what they did. It took them a little while to get that last piece on there and finish it out, but they fought through it, they strung it out, and they got the victory. So congrats to them. But you know, knowing Coach Krotz and company, they're gonna enjoy that win, yes. But 24 hours later, they got a basketball game to worry about against this very talented Joplin Eagles team. And the thing about it is, Joplin's got a lot of games under their belt already compared to PHS. So that's the thing about Missouri is they got a lot. They play in advance way before Kansas does, and so this is going to be a very experienced Joplin basketball club and a very upperclassmen experienced team as well coming in here.
As you said, an upperclassmen latent team. They do have 4 seniors starting tonight, but they played some stout competition. Neosho and Lamar, 2 one-loss teams. This club led throughout a majority of both of those contests before just losing a hold of those ball games and forfeiting the lead. But one thing I do want to continue on about the Pittsburg High School Chanute game is that the full court press has been an absolute nemesis to this Purple Dragon team throughout the year. Against Lewisburg, this team had a decent lead on that club against the Wildcats, and then that started to slip away because of the full court press and the mistakes that were made there. Against Parsons, exact same thing. It was identical against Walnut Grove on Saturday, and it was apparent against Chanute, up 15 points. The full court press came out, and the girls were just so helter-skelter and really sporadic in how they carried themselves and the pace of the ball game. And sooner or later, they lost that lead. It will be imperative tonight to make sure that if this Joplin team runs any sort of press, whether it be full court or half court, that this team remains composed, focused, and calm.
Yeah, and I want to take a page out of Aaron Rodgers' book and say RELAX. Relax. Whenever you get the ball in the press, just calm down, run through it and what you're supposed to do, and keep going. Yes, you're going to have obstacles that are not going to let you get across, but you just relax, calm down, and listen to what Coach Krotz drew up for you, and just go through it, and you'll be fine.
50 seconds remaining before the national anthem sounds. We will quickly give you the starting lineups and then step aside. For the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons, it will be Riley Johnson, Caden Matlock, Caitlin Kidd, Abby Casper, and Madden Petty. And as for the Eagles, Jessica Zingle with Malia Mack, Michaela Aquino with Diane Wagler, and Hannah Cox. We will bring you back some final notes ahead of tonight's matchup here in 2 minutes after the national anthem. Purple Dragons Eagles tip off very soon here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Now accept new clients at the Pet Care and Service. Dr. James Blackley, full of pets to find and love treatment. From a simple checkup or rabies vaccination to performing major surgery.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union with locations in Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI Quality Structures Incorporated specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do is right on cue.
Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons, open 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. Find us fast on names and numbers.
Let's go back live courtside.
And just as the bump says, we welcome you back courtside here inside Pittsburg High School Gymnasia alongside Avi Sharma, Shelby White back at our KSHQ studio. I'm Cam Molina. Last time out for this Pittsburg High School girls basketball team, a double overtime victory that came down to the wire against the Chanute Blue Comet Club. 72-70. It was a 15-point lead held by the Lady Dragons, but slowly they lost their grasp on that lead, and the ball ultimately rolled in their favor. But several things you have to take away, as we discussed earlier in our pregame, was the full court press. The Purple Dragons have really struggled against that particular type of scheme, running whether it is a zone scheme, a man-to-man, a 1-2-1. Either way, Pittsburg High School has really found themselves in a mental block situation when that ever comes out in front of them. So it will be imperative tonight, if Joplin does run one, to execute well, slow down, and make sure there's a valve open for this team, a channel, an open recipient that they can throw to. In addition, Madden Petty has been a big-time playmaker for this team as this freshman is announced here for the starting lineups, averaging 15 points per game. She jumped from 12 points per game to 15 after knocking down several field goals yesterday, including 5 of 5 from three-point range and scoring 31 points. For this Joplin team, they've taken on several opponents that would really turn heads, one being Seneca. They were down 10 at half, but they came back and won that matchup in their last contest. They were a much better team in the second half, but they also participated in the Carthage tournament here recently and took on Mount Vernon. And according to Coach Williams, they found out who a good team was. And with that, that is what this team aspires to be. Mount Vernon is the poster child for this club right now. They feel that they have the pieces that can carry them to that point, to that level of talent. It just takes time and commitment. But with the seniors that this team has, 4 being in the starting lineup, in Zingle, Keenel, Wagler, and Cox, Coach Williams feels that is an achievable goal. And we are about ready for the opening tip-off as Kidd lines up in the center circle against Mack, standing on the Purple Dragon logo. As intimidating as it is, the band section, much more as they're stomping their feet. Kidd will win the tip. Purple Dragon basketball wearing their white home uniforms with purple trim, purple numerals and lettering. Offense going from right to left on your dial. Johnson with the ball right wing. Power dribble by Kidd. Scoops the ball high off the glass and is able to score. A good one dribble move for Kidd to score. Past the timeline, it's going to be the ball to the right corner is Cox. Cox jab step to the right before dumping it off to Mack. Mack following the kick out will rotate the ball around the perimeter. It's being cycled around, right back to the right wing. Scanning inside the post is Wagler. Wagler decides to forfeit the ball back to the point. Zingle kicks it out, losing her mitts on the basketball for a fraction of the second was Cox. 3-point jump shot from the right wing. Does not fall from Wagler. And it's a rebound by Casper, who does such a great job at that guard spot, crashing the boards. Casper will pick up her dribble about 3 steps away from the top of the arc towards the far side of the court. Johnson at the crown of the key. Backs it back out. Will now penetrate towards the left side of the wing, still outside of the horseshoe. Petty being forced towards the right block, interchanging with Casper. Casper following the handoff. The ball was placed just below her torso. Back to Johnson, bounce past the Kidd, up and under. Good move by Kidd, an experienced forward, getting the likes of Mack to jump up in the air. And then Kidd, the senior, does a superb job ripping through and drawing the foul and is going to the free throw line.
And that's a pretty good start for the Purple Dragons so far, Cameron. Couldn't ask for a better one for them.
So Kidd will go to the charity stripe. shooting a couple free throws, and the first one just a bit outside. Yesterday for Kidd, 14 points, 10 rebounds, her first double-double of the season. Kidd takes 2 dribbles at the line, will palm the sphere and flip it up and through. Kidd with all 3 of the Purple Dragons points to begin. 3-0 is the score, 6:45 remaining in the first quarter. Picking up her dribbles about 5 steps away from the top of the arc, and rotating it to the right wing was Zengel to Mack. Mack will kick the ball over left wing before the ball is rotated to Keno. Keno interchanges and finds her teammate in Cox. Free throw line jump shot does not go for Mack, and a strong rebound by Matlock as she was absolutely pummeled into towards the left side of her ribs by the crashing Keno. Following the mix by Mack. The Purple Dragons trying to move the ball effectively. Left wing 3, Petty. That was an early shot, but Matlock comes up with the offensive board. Matlock trying to keep the offensive sequence alive for the Dragons. Finds Petty, then Petty will wheel from about 4 feet away from in front of the rim to the right of the block and shoot it in. So Petty putting up a basket makes it 5-0, and a foul on the floor on the opposite end for the maroon-colored wearing Joplin Eagles. And that is the first foul on Casper, and the team's first as well. It will be a near side out for Wagler. And Wagler set to inbound as she finds her open target in Keno. Keno will find another recipient in the cutting Zengel. Zengel will work it right back out after hitting the reverse button from the left block. She finds an open target, Wagler, and Wagler is able to drain the trifecta. She's 1 of 2 to start. So Wagler with the trifecta makes it 5-3, a 2-point lead for the Dragons. 5:40 left in the first quarter of play. Petty brings the ball past the timeline, pulsating the ball towards the hardwood. Forks over to Johnson, who finds Matlock, and then Matlock loses her grip on the basketball. The Butterfinger play results in a turnover with under 5:30 remaining in the first quarter. It's a 2-point lead for the Dragons. Dragons doing a great job of dictating the glass. They have 3 rebounds thus far. Substitution as Daly Smith comes in. Smith immediately loses the ball out of bounds as she was trying to percolate inside of the circle, but then kick the ball off of her shoe. Matlock will inbound near side baseline. Matlock smacks the leather with her left hand and inbounds to Petty. Petty with her blonde ponytail dangling behind her, now bouncing off her neck, will slow down the pace of the offense. Matlock at the point rotates it left wing, losing her handle on the sphere, and it goes out of bounds was Casper. 2 turnovers by the Dragons thus far. 2-point lead still, 5-3, 5-12 left in the first quarter. Smith this time will decelerate after putting on the thrusters across the mid-court line. Now she'll spin away from Casper. High ball screen set. Good move by Keno to free up the cutting Smith, and then Casper comes up to Finswell and forces Smith to travel. Back-to-back turnovers by Smith. And that is just a young player that is being rushed. Smith, a junior, but we saw her play JV, obviously. She looked pretty good in that contest and had a clean overall game in a Pittsburg high school junior varsity victory. Under 5 to go in the first. 5-3 to score, and another foul by the Eagles, their second. It will be Wagler's first. It will be a far side out for Casper in front of the Pittsburg High School faithful. Some decked out in purple attire, with some Joplin fans also perusing the stands, and a ball is poked out of the hand of Johnson. Diving for it was Cox. She knocked it into the backcourt. It was recovered by Matlock, but it's a foul on Johnson, who I think nipped the ankles of Cox.
Yep.
4:45 left in the first frame of action. Purple Dragons up 2. Casper will hound Zengel at the point. Near side elbow with the ball cocked up overhead is Keno looking for a cutting Zengel, who cuts it out for 3 points to the left wing. Does not convert. Offensive rebound by Mack, but she's able to put it through the bottom of the nylon. Casper to inbound. Near side baseline. Petty somehow is able to snare it away from the harassing Wagler. Petty with the ball in the right mid. Thought about interchanging with Matlock before scooping the ball into the torso of Johnson. Johnson crosses over left to right. Will attack inside the horseshoe. Loses her handle on the sphere. Petty is able to excavate the sphere, but then is undercut by Zengel. And that may be a foul on Zingle. If not, it's a travel on Petty. And it is on Zingle, the team's third. Smith comes back in, will sub in for Cox. And Sophia Pinamani will come in for the Purple Dragons. Riley Johnson will come out. Those two are sharing a lot of time. They may be different positions, but Sophia Pinamani, a good ball handler nevertheless. Casper off the inbound from the far side. Baseline cannot convert from 5 feet away. 5-all the score, under 4 to go in the first. Skip pass, right corner to Wagler. Wagler thought about shuffling the ball to the point. Instead, she finds an open Mac. Right block, turn around 2, does not go. Kidd is able to track down the loose ball. Her first rebound of the contest. Mac currently 1 of 3 to start. Kidd, right elbow 2, leaves it just shy of the bottom of the nylon. Good rebound by the crashing Keenel. After Keenel's board, entering the front court of action is Zengel. Zengel bounce pass right corner, and after an acute bounce pass right into the shooter's pocket of Daly Smith, she decides to uncork a 3 and nails it. Eagles currently 2 of 3 from downtown. They take their first lead of the night. 8-5 is the score, 3:18 left in the first. Petty, right corner, crosses over left to right, will penetrate far baseline, and it looked like she stepped out of bounds and did. And Petty, Avi, seems to always be on the hard wood. I mean, she will dive every single time for a loose ball. She's such a tenacity-filled player.
Well, effort's one thing you do not have to worry about Petty with, Cameron. She goes 100% at all times, and that's why you see in games where she's huffing and puffing, she's giving it her all. She wears herself out, which is very, you got to congratulate her because she does just a great job.
Coach Krotz talking with his girls. The officials will confer towards the far side of the court at the free throw line. I think they will still discuss whether it was off on Petty because Coach Krotz pulled over the official and asked, hey, I think that is out on the Eagles instead. And now the backside official towards the near side of the court is talking with the head ref. And I think there may have been an illegal substitution. Yes, Grace Ipspin came onto the floor. And it was never checked in. So Hannah Cox will come back out, and then Ipspin will come in. So I think the substitution was fine, and maybe somebody else was brought out. Regardless, it will be Zingle who crosses the timeline, dribbling with her right hand, pump fakes in front of the face of Casper Smith, double team to the high post before rotating the ball to the right wing where Aiden Perrin's at, the recently subbed in Eagle. Pass fake again by Ipspin as she looks low. Smith, good power dribble inside of the key, flips it up right-handed, that one is good. Smith with a very savvy low post move as she's able to score. The Wiley Jr. with now 5 and a 5-point lead for Joplin. 10-5, 2:40 left in the first before a beeline pass from Casper finds its way to the belly of Petty. Cocked ball above the head for Petty as she finds Casper. Casper jumped past the Kidd, and Kidd is able to put it through the bottom of the net. Kidd with 5. And I talk about a good jump pass. That was picturesque. Right wing 3 on the opposite end. Easily converted by Cox. No one closed out on her. And this team 3 of 5 from downtown to start. Casper picks up her dribble about 3 steps away from the top of the arc, but then Casper gets the ball back, will penetrate inside the circles, and then as she finds Kidd, Kidd will go with a fadeaway right-hand hook shot. That one does not convert. Rebound by Cox, who will truck in transition, trying to barrel over Petty in the right corner before finding Keenel. Keenel will skip it left wing. Perrin looks low, finds Smith. Defense by Matlock and Kidd. Kidd is able to deter the Smith shot. Ball is still loose. Smith comes down with it. She'll rip through, attack baseline, and it's a blocking foul either against Kidd or Matlock.
I think that one's going to get called against Kidd.
And it will be called on Kidd. That is the 3rd team foul committed by the Dragons. 3 on Joplin as well, and Petty seems really fatigued, and her face just seems just a bit more white than usual. She seems a little ill. She seems really out of breath as she's making her way over to the bench, and she's kind of doubled over. But Smith, following the inbound for the near side baseline, spins away from Matlock and cannot convert. Rebound by Casper. Casper wasting no time, pushing the envelope in transition. She finds Sophia Pinamani, right short corner, short 2. Ball is still loose, recovered by Cox for her 2nd rebound of the night. Cox Wiggles in transition past Cassie Odell, who subbed in. Then Cox loses the ball off her foot. Cassie Odell comes up with it. She has no reservation. She'll attack the basket and is fouled. And the sophomore did a good job of not allowing the ball to go out of bounds. And then Cox was just lethargic, backpedaling on defense. Odell got Cox on her left hip, and Cox was forced to foul. The 14th foul by the Eagles, the first on Cox.
And Cameron, you mentioned how Petty's always on the ground. How about Cassidy Odell?
Yeah.
We see her during the JV game. I think she's on the ground more than anybody else. She is a diving body. That's the kind of player that you want. And there she was again, going at the hoop pretty hard there. She missed her first free throw.
And Odell seems injured. She is holding on to her right wrist. I think she landed awkwardly. She looked towards the bench and pointed towards her right hand. I think she needs subbed out. She missed her first free throw badly. The second one goes in, though.
She's hurting. She is hurting. She's pointing at that wrist right now, Cameron.
And she's only using one arm to defend Cox. She fights through a screen and will come to defend Cox, who's about 4 steps away from the top of the key, from the front of the key. It will be Zingle who makes herself available. But before that, she rotates it to Wagler. Wagler will find Cox in this Eagles offense, just moving the ball about 4 to 5 steps away from the top of the arc. Sophia Penamani trying to step in front of Wagler. It's a 5-point lead for the Eagles. 13-8, 45 seconds left in the first. Left corner, Cox, up fake. Good job by Kidd to run Cox off the line, force her to go inside the circles, and then give up the basketball. Zingle picks up her dribble. Casper right in her grill, harassing her. The Bloodhound in her face. Nearly a 5-second call. Ball is in the backcourt. Recovering it is Wagler. Wagler has 25 seconds, as do the rest of the Eagles. Coach Williams asking his team to run an offensive set called the triangle and then asks for a timeout. And Coach Williams is talking with Cox, and Cox is not paying any mind to him as she removes her white Nike headband. Pretty irritated following a couple of the Eagles' turnovers. 13-8 is the score. Pittsburg High School currently trails by 5 with 16 seconds left in the first quarter of play. The Dragons led up until about the 4-minute mark, but then Joplin took their first lead of the night off of a 3-point jump shot that was converted by Wagler. But this team, Avi, in the Eagles, shooting efficiently from behind the arc. They are 3 or 4 so far, and we've seen the spacing from this Joplin team really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're doing a pretty good job. They're being very disciplined, but you see the frustration right there by Coach Williams. He was not happy with how his team ended that right there before. They had a minute left when they got the basketball, and nothing was getting done, so now they have 10 seconds to put up the last shot.
Zingle, 10 seconds on the clock. Her club up 5. Casper playing great defense, using her feet to force Zingle to the right corner. Matlock trying to jump the passing route. Keenel has it. Keenel looks for Zingle. Right short corner, 2 goes up and in! Zingle is able to score before the buzzer sounds. She's able to notch her first points of the night and give the Eagles a 7-point lead after 1 frame of action. It is 15-8, and the Eagles with a slight edge heading into the second period of action. We will step aside for 30 seconds to bring you back more Pittsburg High School action here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
When the lights come up on Friday and Saturday nights at high schools and colleges across the region, it's off on a field built by Crossland Construction. Many Crossland employees still educated in the schools that are thriving parts of our communities today. Crossland is a proud supporter of area athletics and urges you to be a part of your local school community. Many of the athletes playing today may help Crossland build across our region in the future. Check out career opportunities at crossland.com. Crossland Construction builds you.
And we welcome you back to ESPN 100.7, your sports headquarters. Avi Shama, Shelby White, Cam Molina with you on this Wednesday night of action. 15-8 is the score. The Eagles lead after 1 quarter of play. We head to the top of the second. The Purple Dragons found some offensive production from Caitlin Kidd. She has 5 points and a rebound. The Purple Dragons doing a great job crashing the boards. They are out-rebounding the Eagles by 2, but the 3-point shooting for Joplin was too much for Chris Krotz's girls to handle in the first. They shot 3 of 4 from downtown. Speaking of which, Cox, who at one of the threes, is on the left wing. High post is Matt before rotating the ball. Right wing extended where Zingle's at. Smith, right elbow, rips through from right to left, left to right. Whipping a pass at the top of the key. It's Smith to Cox. Her 3. She faded away. That one well short. Rebounded by Zoe Penamani, who subbed in between the break. Casper with Petty to her right decides to hold on to the ball herself with her blonde ponytail bouncing off of her neck. Pulsates the ball with her right hand. Petty, right wing three. That one's too strong, and it's tracked down by Zingle. And Petty's had some okay looks, but she seems just a little off tonight, really fatigued, especially after the double overtime game yesterday. You can rightfully understand. Petty is able to come away with the steal. She's able to rip Smith and is galloping in transition. Goes up right hand layup with defenders coming to close around her, but still converts. Petty now with 4 points, 15-10 is the score. Dragons trail by 5. Under 7 to go in the first half of play. Left wing's Cock. Left elbow Smith. Smith scans, pivots inside of the key, turns, left hand hook shot. No. Petty comes up with the defensive rebound, but Smith had an okay look. Her back was to the basket, went on a long, elongated drop step, and was unable to finish. Petty, right wing, will attack baseline, has a little bit of room to snake in, but cannot finish. Good rebound by Smith. Smith will clear out the backcourt following her first rebound of the ball game. Ball floated over, left wing. Cox steps inside the horseshoe and drills it too. Cox is a pretty good shooter. Her form looks really nice. Mechanics seem to be smooth. 7-point lead for Joplin once again. 17-10 is the score. 6:15 left in the half. Casper looks right. Thought she had Petty. High ball screen set by Johnson. An illegal screen. That is 2 on Johnson. And Coach Krotz is telling Johnson, I think, a couple of tips from the sideline. And Johnson is being receptive. Matlock subs in for Kidd. 6:08 left in the half. 17-10 is the score. A side out for the far side of the court from Keenel in front of the Pittsburg High School section, where a lot of the parents are watching on eagerly. Zingle with the sphere, right corner, Cox. Cox will rip through from right to left. Johnson hounding her. She'll spin away from Johnson, but Johnson does a good job recovering, and then Casper jumps in the passing lane, gets a fingertip on the basketball, and will go out of bounds. Another inbounds from the left side of the court. Wagler looks towards the deep end of the front court. Scan, scan, scan. And from the recesses of the front court, it's Casper who comes away with the steal. Larceny in progress, pulls up 2. No. Casper, ball poked up, hot potato, and is able to recover following her miss. Casper dribbles with her left hand. Coach Krotz currently calling out play one, play one. So offense is initiated. Casper with it still, and she's dribbling. This could be a 5-second call unless she gets it out. Wagler on her. Glued onto her. Casper was able to slip away, able to permeate inside and score. She has 2 points, 3 rebounds. 5-point contest again. Dragons trail at home. Looking for their second win of the season. Mack with her white Nikes with black swishes will pump it over to the left wing. Zingle's there. Skip pass over the head of Zoe Penamani. She will close out on Keno before relocating the ball right corner. Dribbling with her left hand is Cox. She's inside the horseshoe. Now bringing it back outside before going inside. Half a step inside of Zingle. Zingle goes to the left elbow. Kick out. Left corner 3 is up. Too strong. Matlock jump ball against Mack. Tipped up into the hands of Petty. Petty with her second rebound of the contest. Petty with a black hair braid will dribble with her right hand. Gray Nikes on her feet. Crosses over right to left. She'll stop dribbling and find Matlock. Matlock had 3 attempted three-pointers yesterday. One that could have won the game in the first overtime as Petty receives the basketball, tries to go with a reverse layup, and it's a jump ball. Good defense by Mack and Wagler. Petty not pleased. Petty said she was hit on the left hand. And it's a sub out. Cox will go to the bench, and coming in will be Gabriella Quinn for the first time tonight, and a timeout used by Coach Krotz. Offense may not be running as efficiently as he wants it to be, and with a 5-point deficit, just under 4:30 to go, it's a good time to give his girls a break. We will step aside for 30 seconds to bring you back more action here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Advanced technology, comprehensive quality care. That's in our eye care. We have the newest technology, but we never lose sight of what's most important, our patients. Eye care has changed dramatically in recent years, and we've been there for you every step of the way. At Canar Eye Care, patients spend time with doctors. Total eye care, from contact lenses, including bifocal contacts, treatment of disease, and surgical co-management. Canar Eye Care, clear choice.
Find them fast in names and numbers. Let's go back live courtside.
Kidd will inbound far baseline. Ball in her left hand, slaps it with her right. The leather cocked above her head, looks for a cutting Petty. Petty left block, wiggles inside, tries to hoist it up with her right hand. She does not convert. Mack with good defense. And the ball is swiftly moved past half court as Engel bounce passes the ball to the right corner where Quinn's at. Quinn, a frozen rope pass to the top of the key before the ball is bounced to Mack. Right elbow goes inside, right block. Good deflection by Kidd as Petty comes away with the sphere. Casper past the timeline. She's dribbling with her right hand. She'll work towards the right sideline and then is fouled. Midway through the second quarter of play, 17-12 is the score. Both teams with 4 team fouls.
The personal foul is called on number 21, Diane Wagler. That'll be her second.
So Wagler will pick up her second, and that will bump it up to 5 team fouls in this contest. For the Eagles, Mack will sub out. Casper to inbound. It's a box set. Dragons running amok. Kidd has it. Right elbow rips through, looks for Casper, who was the inbounder as she shuffled back into play, and then Casper dives for a loose ball. Good breakup defensively by the defender in Keenel to get a hand in on the situation and force a jump ball. So it will be Purple Dragon inbounds. The Eagles are unaware of this, and they will quickly recover. Or now it's an Eagles inbound, but I thought the last jump ball possession arrow was for Joplin. So regardless, a skip pass past midcourt. Quinn will find an open cutter in Keenel, but Keenel in transition is deflected by Kidd. Kidd does a great job being a part of the defense there. Matlock rotates the ball left wing. Johnson looks for Kidd, and she's fouled on the left block. And it's against Zingel, her second, and that is the team 6th.
Jessica Zingel, that'll be her second personal foul. The 16th on Joplin.
Casper slaps the leather towards the right side of the basket. Far side baseline inbound. Johnson will get the ball behind the horseshoe, rips through left to right, and then uses her left forearm to gain a little bit of space, and she's called for a foul. That's 3 on her. And Johnson is no stranger to foul trouble. She had 3 games where she had 3 fouls within the first 3 quarters of action. Keenel, a near side out in front of the Joplin bench from Smith. The maroon-wearing Zingel will go with her right hand and will attack inside the horseshoe. Great defense by Casper right in the grill of Zingel. Right wing 3 by Quinn is off to the left. It will smooch off the left side of the orange and goes out of bounds. Good hustle play by Zingel to try to track down the errant shot. Casper to inbound. Has Petty about 3/4 of the way in the backcourt as she crosses the timeline towards the front court. It's Matlock at the point with her braided ponytail behind her. Casper left wing. She'll nudge her head to the right to tell Sophia Pitamani to come to the point. Her straightaway 3 off the heel of the iron. Kidd is able to grapple the board as she reels it in. She's fine. Petty right wing 3. High bounce off the heel of the iron. No good. Ball is tracked down by Zingel, and the shots are just not falling for the Purple Dragons thus far. Ball rotated from the left corner to Keenel at the point, and then Smith travels as she was at the left elbow, and then she tried to work inside against Casper. 2:45 left in the half, 17-12 the score. The Dragons trail by 5. It has been a very low-scoring second quarter thus far. In total, just 6 points. 2 for Joplin, 4 for the Dragons. Offense for the Dragons features Matlock at the point. Casper bounce past the Kidd. She's inside the key. Turnaround right-hand shot. Falls through the net. So Kidd, is 3 of 3 in the ball game. 7 points and a rebound. Right corner 3 off the left side of the rim. Rebounded by Sophia Pitamani. An excellent rebound by Pitamani as she was boxed out, but she used her length to 1, grapple the ball, and 2, not foul. Kidd rips the ball above her head from right to left. Smith is defending her. Kidd will change direction on a dime. As she pivots away, she finds Casper. Casper, the sphere in her left hand, will attack to the left side of the block. Goes up, maneuvers her way past Wagler, and scores. And the Dragons ferociously battling back. 17-16 is the score. Dragons down 1. Smith, 3 ball from the point. No. Offensive rebound by Zingel, but lost it. Dragon basketball, the $1:45 left in the first half. Dragons only trail by 1. The Dragons outscoring Joplin 8-2 in the second period of play. Credit great defense by the Dragons. I think that's one of the calling cards for Coach Cross, the ability for this team to be extremely assertive and aggressive defensively. They have that killing mentality, if you will, as Pittamani moves it over right wing. Petty 3 long. Kidd with the board. She bumps into Matlock, and then Kidd travels. She may try to maintain her balance. Matlock, you have to appreciate the effort, but Kidd, almost like an outfielder, called her off and was trying to grapple the board on her own. Following the turnover, it's Joplin basketball, up 1 with under $1:30 left in the half. Sophia Pittamani defending well outside against Cox. Smith, high post, uses her right arm to gain some separation. Left wing 3 by Cox, no. Smith with the offensive board before it's stripped away. Casper tries to track it down, and it looks like Smith may have just lost it in general, and Coach Williams, he's not going to argue or criticize the official, so he's just going to let bygones be bygones. Smith with a strong rebound, however. She used her elbows to chin it, box out, and generated some space. Petty currently 0 of 4 from three-point range in this ball game. She's at the right wing. Finds the ball to the left block before a bounce pass from Matlock to Kidd, and Kidd is able to score. She is 4 of 4 inside of about 3 feet. She has 9 points, 2 boards. The Dragons with their first lead since the early going of the first quarter of play. 45 seconds, make it 40 left in the first half. Kidd forces Smith to attack baseline. She scores. Good right-hand finish. Using her speed to elude Kidd and score. She had a little crevice and was able to exploit it. Petty at the point. Finds Kidd, high post. Kidd rips right. Will try to attack inside, but good defense by Zingle as she crashed down. Casper will attack right wing. Tries to navigate inside, but it's a 3-second call. Matlock was stoic in the lane. 1 point lead for Joplin. They can extend their lead to 2 possessions before intermission here. The Dragons done a great job battling back, earning their first lead since about the 4-minute mark in the first quarter with about 45 seconds left in this half. Zingle picks up her dribble. Right block, loses it. Picking it up is Keenel. Smith, 3 on its way, and a bad closeout by Petty as she came streaking from the free throw line over to Smith and bumped into Smith. So it will be Daly Smith with 3 tries at the stripe with 1.7 seconds left in the half. That is a cardinal sin at any level of basketball, to make sure you close out strong, yes, but do it in a poised fashion. Smith misses the front of her 3 shots. Her second offering rattles home. And that's to be a big blow for the Dragons, who are playing great defense on the last possession of the first half. Smith has it. She was contested by Casper, and then Petty comes over and tries to do so as well. Smith goes 2 of 3. She has 9 points. Inbound to Casper. Ball swatted away by Perrin, and that is the end of the first half of play. The Eagles at the break lead 21-18, but the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons did a great job fighting back and throwing some punches of their own. They jabbed throughout most of the first, but then trailed by as much as 7. Did a great job responding late in the second quarter of play, pulling ahead by 1 point with about 45 seconds left in the half. But a good job by Joplin High School to find a quick bucket in the post, and then Smith to convert with some pressure cooker free throws, as she has 9 points to tie all leading scorers with Caitlin Kidd of the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons. We'll bring you back more insight into this contest, as well as the entirety of the first half statistics here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7, in just 2 minutes.
Hi, this is Dr. President of Urgent Care.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union, with locations in Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI Quality Structures Incorporated specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do is right on cue.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Varsity and JV levels of competition, plus satellite camps throughout the summer. All campers receive instruction from head coach Lane Lord, head assistant Amanda David, along with former and current players. For more information, visit them online at lanelordbballcamps.com. Coach Lord and Coach David have seen tremendous success over the past several years, and they begin their recruiting at these camps, with over 20 former campers being signed. Visit lanelordbballcamps.com.
Let's go back live courtside.
And a very welcome back to ESPN 100.7, your sports headquarters. Halftime festivities feature a three-point shooting contest. Winner wins $100, and there's some players on the boys basketball team from Pittsburg High School, as Jared Butcher and Dalton Gromer are in the final round. That's a bit of an unfair advantage, but the Pittsburg High School girls basketball team, final game before the Christmas break rolls around, trailing by 3 against the Joplin High School Eagles, 28-18. And Avi, I'm sure you picked up on it well, the intensity this Pittsburg High School girls team brought. 5 games in 8 days. That is a lot on this girls basketball team. Very taxing to have to travel to Webb City, to Parsons, to Chanute last night, but they probably are relieved to be back home in Pittsburgh. They do trail by 3, but it was a great effort in the first half by Caitlin Kidd as she was able to notch 9 points, 2 rebounds.
Yeah, I tell you, Cameron, I saw a timeout by Coach Scrotts, and I looked over, and I just see the girls just bent down. They are huffing and puffing. They are tired, Cameron. They have gone through a lot, not to mention that double overtime hard victory. It was a long night in Chanute. They didn't get to go home until late. It was just tough for them, but they're hanging in there. I'll give them props to that. They are only down 3 points. It was a very physical first half. We saw a lot of fouls, 12 total for each team, or 12 total fouls. But I can't say enough about Caitlin Kidd. She is balling out right now for the Purple Dragons.
That she is balling out. Let's go ahead and look at the first half statistics, beginning with the hometown Dragons. 9 points for Kidd, including 2 rebounds. And then it was 1 point for Cassidy Odell from the stripe. She went 1 of 2, and she injured her right wrist on a layup attempt in transition. Hopefully she is okay. We have not seen her since. 4 points for Abby Casper, including 3 boards. And then 4 points for Madden Petty and 2 rebounds. As for the Eagles, 3-point shooting has been their lifeblood thus far. 3 of 6 from downtown. 2 points for Jessica Zingle. 2 points for Malia Mack. 3 points for Keenel. 5 points for Diane Wagler, including 2 rebounds. And then Hannah Cox has also contributed with 5 points of her own. And Daly Smith, 9 points and 2 rebounds, hitting some crucial threes to put the Joplin Eagles up 2 possessions at break. Petty tried to close out on Smith, who was prepared to chuck up a Hail Mary 3, but Petty bumped into her, and that resulted in Smith going 2 of 3 from the stripe, leading to her tying as the leading scorer tonight with Kidd, each having 9. And Avi, in the first half, we saw the Dragons play an aggressive brand of defense. They were right in the face mask of all of these Joplin girls, doing a great job closing out defensively, but there comes a time when you're a bit overzealous on defense, and we saw that with Petty.
Yeah, I think they were doing a great job with the aggressiveness. I thought it was a great showing as they did a good job. The main thing that I saw, Cameron, that I really liked is they boxed out very, very well and grabbed defensive rebounds. Didn't let the second chance opportunities, which killed them, and I mean killed them yesterday. But you're right. There's a difference between discipline and over-aggressive, and that's exactly what happened towards the end there, as I think it's the fatigue that got to Petty, as she's been struggling from the three-point line tonight, and so it's a bit of frustration reaching out and trying to get that block shot, which ill-advised, and that's what caused this score to be up by 3 right now for the Joplin Eagles.
And it's difficult to frame it because we are not in her shoes, but Madden Petty steps in as a freshman against Lewisburg. Team's leading scorer. She played a couple minutes of JV, at least 2 quarters of JV, and then comes in and finishes out the 6 quarters that are available at the varsity level. And then against Independence, plays a handful of minutes. Against Parson, comes off the bench, gets a lot more time. And then before you and I knew it, against Webb City, she comes in as a starter. So she's only been a starter now for 3 games. So it's not unfamiliar territory, but it's a situation where she's continuing to adapt, and as you mentioned, the fatigue for this team has to be at an all-time high, considering they've played 5 games in 8 days, and you have to also factor in this team has had 3 road trips, 1 to Chanute, 1 to Webb City, and 1 to Parson. Those are not short trips. I mean, it's not a 15-minute drive across town. We're talking 30, 40 minutes up to an hour. The Chanute drive last night for us was about an hour 15, so these girls, as soon as school is over, trying to fight whatever viruses and whatever bugs are going around the school, and then also participating in school finals for their academic side of things. I mean, these girls had to be fatigued physically and mentally, but doing a fantastic job of not letting that show on the court. On the bench is one thing, though. They seem pretty tired, but this team, a resounding job making sure they're coming out to play, and you can just see the passion in everybody's eyes on a night-in, night-out basis. But they trail at halftime 21-18. There was still work to do for the Dragons. They were able to outscore the Eagles in the second 10-6. And there have been 4 lead changes in this contest. The Eagles took the lead with about 4 minutes left in the first quarter of action. And then Pittsburg High School took it back over with about 45 seconds left. And then 2 more lead changes prior to the Eagles taking a 3-point edge at intermission. We have a minute and a half left before the beginning of the third quarter of action, so we will just take a 60-second break and bring you back more action from Pittsburg High School here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Hi, I'm Oklahoma. Know me as a Kansas Chief, so a proud graduate. State offers more than 200 group programs, all class sizes, and tuition so affordable it made a top 10 rank on monthly. Reach the best pay for your buck. But don't take my word for it. Visit Pittsburg State and see why there's nothing like being a gorilla. Learn more at pittstate.edu/be-a-gorilla.
Does your current checking account pay you up to $15 per month? With Common Sense Checking at University Bank, you can earn up to $15 per statement cycle, 10 cents for each swipe after the first 15 swipes. Qualifying is so easy. Simply have 1 direct deposit or auto payment plus 15 debit card purchases each statement cycle and a $100 opening deposit. Stop by the bank for more information about our Common Sense Checking. Then swipe and save. It's convenience that pays at University Bank. Branch GMB. Member FDIC. Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
And we welcome you back. Third quarter of action just about to begin. The Dragons at home on this Wednesday night contest. Trail by 3 to the visiting Joplin Eagles. Avi Sharma, Shelby White back at our KSHQ studio. Cam Molina with you. We join you whether it is on the dial or our stream at ESPN100.7.com. A far side out by Johnson. And the white-cladded purple Dragons will have it first. Casper bounce past the Petty. Petty will relocate the ball to Matlock at the point. Petty right wing, jabs left, attacks baseline, goes up, wraparound pass instead, finds Kidd left block, and it's a foul on the floor. It will be Joplin's first foul of this second half, and it's on Zengel. That is her 3rd foul. Casper to inbound, Eagles nor Dragons ready. After the slap of the leather, Kidd has it right elbow, looking for Casper, who was the inbounder, trying to slink back in to play and trying to be inconspicuous about it. Ball is rotated, left wing, Petty circles inside of the horseshoe before dumping it off Casper. Casper attacks, right block, bounce pass, Kidd goes up in front of Mack. Mack, good defense, but not enough to stop Kidd. who has been splendid, 5 of 5 shooting, 11 points, 2 boards. Zingel past the timeline, goes behind the back, left-hand dribble, Casper right in her face. Skip pass, right wing, Cox redirecting Keenel, and then Keenel has the ball poked loose by Johnson. Johnson dribbling with her right hand. The leather attached to her, ball on the wire / on the string as Zingel was coming up from behind her, but ripped it back fast. Almost looked like a lawnmower pulling it back quickly to start it. Casper, right corner 3. For some reason, that one did not go in. That was a good look by Casper. Offensive rebound by Kidd, but cannot fork it through. Kidd's first missed shot of the night. Rebound is by Zingel. Maneuvering inside, Zingel, left corner 3, goes up. That one is long by Wagler. It's an offensive rebound by Mack, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Kidd.
I tell you, the three-point shot is just not there. It's just tough shooting for this Purple Dragon team, Cameron. I agree with you. That was one of those beautiful shots I've seen tonight, and it just didn't go in.
It seemed right on line, plenty of rotation, nothing wrong with it, just did not go in. And a foul by Johnson as she bumped into Cox on the inbound. So Sophia Pinamani will come in as Johnson has floor, and you know the coaching staff wants Johnson in. She does a great job moving the ball around, a great facilitator, distributes it very well, knows the offense, an aggressive defender, but you just have to be mindful of how many fouls you have.
And I think the aggressiveness of her also is what's making her struggle for overall as a player so far this season.
Exactly. It will be Zingel who will attack right wing to left corner. Rotates it back left corner to the open Cox. Finds Zingel again. Offensive rebound following the miss by Keenel. Mack is able to recover. Goes back up and is fouled ahead of the free throw line. And she is also able to finish it, so just add it to her tab. Great job rebounding by Mack.
That's on Petty, and she is confused on what the foul even was. She is still trying to find answers.
Free throw from Mack, too strong. Rebound by Kidd, good job wrestling the ball out of the air. Casper wasting no time, pushing the envelope. Matlock 3 steps away from the crown of the arc. Curling is Pinamani. Pinamani with her spectacles on, looks to the right-hand side, loses the ball off her foot momentarily, recovers, bounce pass, Casper double team, turned around, right-hand floater is an air ball, rebounded by Mack. Past the timeline, Zingel from right to left, goes to the left wing, kicks out, left corner, up fake by Wagler. Wagler moves the ball around the horseshoe. Right wing 3 by Cox. She'll leave that one just shy, and then Kidd, I don't know how she was able to do it, was able to excavate the ball with her right hand with Mack right on her rear. And then Casper goes in, tries to split 2 defenders in Wagler as well as Zingler, and is fouled on her way to the basket. And it looks like it was on the floor, but Casper's at the free throw line, and it will be 2 opportunities for Casper as Wagler has 3 and Zingel has 3. 23-20 is the score. 3-point lead for Joplin early on in the third with 5:41 remaining. Casper, who is usually a good free throw shooter, misses her first opportunity of the night, and there have been limited opportunities for either team from the stripe. In total, just 9 shots. Casper sets near her right knee. Her knees pointing to the left side of the rim. Flicks up, right-handed free throw is good. She has 5.3 rebounds, and it's a 2-point contest. 1-possession game as Zingel passes the prime meridian, harassed by Casper. She moves left block before a one-hand swing pass back to the left corner for the recently subbed in Quinn was at. Kidd defending well against Mack. Mack tried to go with a jump hook shot pack to the cutting Zingel, but it's stolen away. Casper puts the brakes on. Petty, transition 3 is up. Leaves it short. Matlock offensive board, but loses it off of her fingertips. And then Quinn at midcourt loses it. It's recovered by Cox. Right wing transition 3. She's able to respond, though. So Petty is now 0 of 5 from deep. Cox, on the other hand, 2 of 3. And the Eagles 4 of 8 shooting from downtown with under 5 to go in the third. It's 26-21. Casper, vintage Casper, uses her strong upper body to go with a hop step on the left block. Gets Zingel on her right hip, goes with the teardrop, and it goes. Casper, always a player that can score you a basket. Zingel works the ball, right corner. Casper, miscommunication. She and Keenel were not on the same wavelength, and the ball is in the backcourt for a backcourt violation. Smith will come in, as will Ibsen. Keenel will sub out. 3-point lead for Joplin. 4:37 left in the third. In the backcourt is Casper. She'll step on the scaly purple logo of the Purple Dragons. Jab step right for Petty. Petty attacks. Right short corner goes up through contact. Ibsen tried to rotate. She was really, really late, but Petty did a good job putting her head down and trying to fight through the thicket of arms. Under 4:30 left in the third, 3-point lead for Joplin, and Petty will have a pair of free throws. First opportunity for Petty is good. Yesterday against Chanute, the Lady Dragons were able to shoot 27 attempts from the free throw line, converted on 19 of them. That's good for a 70% mark in the contest. Petty kicks up her left foot. Second free throw good. The Dragons just shot their 7th and 8th from the line tonight. In a 1-2-1 press in the backcourt, Petty forcing Lysa Zingle over far side wing. In transition, Quinn uncorks a three. What was that? Quinn, a stop and pop, 2 actually. Wow. I mean, that was on a dime. She put the brakes on. I mean, the transmission out of that car would have fallen out as Pinamani wheels inside of the horseshoe, right elbow, and the ball is stripped by Smith. And it's an offensive foul by Pinamani, and Coach Krotz kind of scowls and looks towards the official, and it looked like she may have just lowered her shoulder. With 4:06 left in the third quarter of action, it is 28-25. Beeline pass right wing where the open Epson is at. Epson finds Smith, left wing where Zingle's at. Zingle will work towards the left wing, inside the left short corner, and then goes up left-hand floater and is fouled on her way up, finishes +1. And that is on Casper, her second. And that is the Dragons' 4th team foul as Odell is ready to sub back in with white athletic tape on her right hand. Petty will come out. Her face beat red. With under 4 minutes left in the third, it's a 5-point lead for Joplin. Their largest lead of the night, 7. And Zingle's free throw opportunity is no good. Too strong off the heel of the yard. Zingle nearly had the offensive rebound, but it was quickly recovered by Sophia Pinamani with the recovery. After the Pinamani rebound, it's Casper. Front court action, goes to the low post. Right block ball poked out of her hands. In transition, Joplin not wasting too much time is at the point at Zingle again. Bounce past Smith. Smith goes with an up fake to the left side of her head. Left ear. Odell came away with the steal, recovered it, lost it off the leg of Quinn. It will be Purple Dragon basketball. With 3:27 left in the third, it's still a 5-point lead for the Eagles. Coach Williams barking at his girls, trying to provide a sense of confidence to them, instilling them that they have the lead right now and to hold on to it. Casper goes with a strong chest pass over to Pinamani, left wing. Will find Odell, who goes to the right elbow, looks for Kidd, right short corner, finds Sophia Pinamani. Pinamani hesitant, apprehensive, struggling. Pinamani will find Odell, and then Odell rips through, tries to go up, and goes straight up, and no foul call but a whistle. Pinamani 3 seconds in the lane, but it looked like Odell was fouled before that. And Coach Krotz has some word to share with the official. I mean, that one seemed pretty darn delayed. 3 minutes left in the third. Casper defending Zingle. Zingle spins away. Again, another pirouetting move to escape Casper. Smith left corner. Before that happens, the ball is at the top of the key, where Quinn is at. Right corner, Zingle again. Back to Smith, top of the key. Three-pointer on its way. Rebounded by Matlock following the errant shot. Matlock with 3 boards, no points. And then Sophia Pinamani steps through in the low post and puts the ball to the bottom of the nylon, but instead it is called a travel, and Coach Krotz is irate. I mean, he was okay with some of the official decisions before, but Pinamani supposedly traveled when he's saying that she pivoted, no doubt. And then Zingle will run Casper out of bounds. And going out of bounds is Zingle, who lost the basketball. And it will be Joplin basketball. I mean, Coach Krotz is absolutely livid right now. Zingle to inbound, right side of the goal towards the far side baseline. Smith will penetrate, loses her handle on the sphere. Far side wing will be Quinn. Up fake by Perrin, who just subbed in. Stolen away. Sophia Pinamani has Odell left side. Pinamani bounce pass. Odell goes up, scores. Good loop by Pinamani, keeping her eyes up. And then a steal in the backcourt by Casper. Casper will step outside of the yard for the offense to reset, but the Dragons have numbers at the 4-on-3. Right wing, Pinamani, 3, no. Rebounded, and a strong rebound by Ibsen, and then a foul by Odell, I think. And Coach Krotz has a lot to say to these officials. And it's on Odell. Her first. 30-27 is the score. Dragons up 3 with 2 minutes left and the third period of play. Zingle being greeted by Casper at the midcourt line. Casper forcing Zingle to her right before crossing over to her left, and then Casper is able to force a turnover. She's in transition at 2-on-2. Petty flanking her to her right. The tandem decides to slow down, but Casper goes with an up fake, right block foul, +1. Abby Casper. Phenomenal job allowing the defense to lay off. They gravitated towards Petty, who was towards her right side. The two interchanged. They were abreast from one another, but then Petty went to her left-hand side. Up fake allowed the defender to bump into her and finish through contact. Coach Krotz, who was apoplectic before, now pleased with Petty's performance, as well as Casper's, who finishes the and one, and we are tied at 30 apiece with $1:45 left in the third quarter of play. Right block, Zingle. Left wing, Smith. Smith goes with a Euro step, hoists up a right-handed shot, rebounded by Casper. Casper, after grappling the rebound, now has 4 rebounds in the ball game, and Odell slices inside the lane, goes with the Euro step. Petty offensive rebound, goes up through traffic, draws the foul, almost gets a friendly Dragon bounce on the heel of the iron. It does not go, but she'll head to the free throw line shooting 2. The Dragons will shoot their 10th and 11th shots from the bar tonight with just under 1:30 left in the third period and a chance to reclaim the lead. First time in the third quarter that will happen.
Cameron, the roles have reversed. Now it's Coach Williams for the Eagles who is irate with the referees. He's not happy with the calls, as you see Zingle now trying to plead her case about what happened.
First free throw is good by Petty. 5th lead change of the night between the Dragons and the Eagles. Petty, who's 3 of 3 from the stripe, can go 4 of 4 here. She does. She's pitching a perfect game from the line thus far in a 2-point lead for the Dragons. Dragons press is broken following the pressure in the backcourt. Missed shot in transition by Quinn. Ball is slapped out of bounds by one of the Pittsburg High School players. And now will be a Cox inbound and a substitution as Clarissa Harn subs in for the Eagles. Cox to inbound. Right side of the goal. Kidd reads it, pokes it up into the air. Shades of Darrell Rivas. Kidd tracks it down as Mack popped it out of her hand, and then Kidd traveled. It looked like maybe her left foot just slid out from underneath her, and Coach Krotz saying, make sure you go with that hop step. Make sure you are stationary. Harns, past the equator, looks right. Reverses back at us. She's reeling away. Petty's right in her grill. Right elbow, Smith. She's been magnificent tonight. 9 points. Goes straight up about 5 feet away, maybe 6 feet away from the hoop. Goes up into the chest of Matlock and draws a foul. And that is the first on Matlock. Smith goes to the free throw line, shooting 2 of 3 as a unit. The Eagles have shot 2 of 5 now after Smith's miss. Smith ready to shoot her 5th attempt as Zoe Penamani will sub in. Matlock will come out. The maroon-cladded Smith squats down, springs up, free throw goes. She's 3 of 5 from the stripe, reaching the double-digit echelon, and Coach Krotz shouts timeout.
I think this is the right call.
Yes, his team leading by 1, 32-31. This club regained the lead with $1:27 left in this third quarter of play. We have a minute exactly left in the third frame of action, so make sure to tune in for that here in 30 seconds. You're listening to the home of Purple Dragon Athletics on ESPN 100.7.
At Lindbergh, care from a qualified and caring staff, services like our Time My Med and Impact program. Lindbergh Pharmacy provides personalized services out on refill prescriptions online. Lindbergh Pharmacy mobile app. You can also sign up for this textbook program, and we'll text or email you when your prescription is ready. Can't make it to us? We'll deliver your medications right to your door. Lindbergh Pharmacy, now 2 locations to serve you.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
Zoe Pinamani with the far baseline inbound. Find Petty, and the Dragons are able to break the press by the Eagles. Odell nearly with the carry before she found Casper right wing. Pressure by this Joplin team, forcing this Pittsburg team to accelerate offensively. And then Petty slugs through the lane. She does not finish. Rebound offensively by Odell, and she's able to score. Great job by Cassidy Odell. And the aggressiveness that led to her 5 points tonight, and a 3-point Dragon lead, 34-31. Cox right wing finds Mack at the point. Left wing now following a scuttling pass to Quinn. Quinn penetrates left block. Smith will also penetrate left block. Overloaded near side of the court. At the crown of the arc is Mack before kicking it to the left elbow. Smith goes up a right-hand runner, saucers around, does not go through. Zoe Pinamani with her second rebound of the night. Smith is 2 of 5 shooting in the contest. Casper pulls up, right-hand floater, draws a foul with 3.6 seconds left in the third. And Casper had the defender on her hip and went straight up into Mack, whose arm landed right on her right elbow. And it will be called on Quinn. I think it was a foul from behind and not called on Mack.
And finally, Cameron, the Purple Dragons put up a shot in the last 5 seconds. We've seen that many times this season as Casper misses the first one. They were not aware of the clock, and they did not get a shot up before the buzzer. This time they do, and Casper gets fouled. Now she has a chance to add to the lead at the charity
Yes,
stripe.
the attentiveness has been an issue within the last 10 seconds of a contest. Casper, second free throw, no good. That's a rarity, but the offensive rebound,
wow,
I believe it was by Zoe Pinamani. It was. Bounce past the kid, and she's able to score right before the buzzer sounds. And how about the effort from Zoe Pinamani, the sister of Sophia Pinamani, the twins, able to assist in this ball game. And then Kidd, now 6 of 7 shooting from the field, 13 points, 5 rebounds, in the largest lead of the night for the Dragons at 5, 36-31. We head to the final quarter of play here in 30 seconds on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
I had no idea you did that.
That's what I said when I learned CDL does more than just electrical work, like plumbing, heat and air, security cameras and alarms, generators, solar panels, even signs for my business. CDL is one company that has a solution for about everything in my home and business. Learn more at cdlsolution.com.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
5-point lead for the Dragons, their largest of the night against the visiting Joplin High School Eagles as we begin the fourth quarter of action. And what a third quarter turnaround it was for Pittsburg High School. They were able to put up 18 points in the third quarter play compared to the 10 by Joplin. And it was a scoring barrage from Kidd as she has 13. Casper has 10, a far side inbound for the Eagles to begin the fourth. And the ball stolen away following the Cox inbound by Petty. Petty tries to split 2 defenders. Ball jarred out of her hand. It will remain with the Dragons. Stepping out of bounds with it was Wagler. An inbounds near side baseline on this solid purple colored baseline for Petty, right side of the backboard. Slaps the leather in her hands. Right hand over the top, left hand on the side. Scans, prospects, finds Matlock. Cox was not looking for her. Zoe Pinamani is fouled on the floor. Bumping into her was Keenel.
And that'll be 1-1 for Zoe Pinamani.
And Pinamani with a big offensive rebound to end the third quarter of play, and an even better threading, swift bounce pass in between 2 Joplin defenders to find Kidd right before the third quarter buzzer sound, and then Pinamani's 1-and-1 opportunity does not fall. The Dragons 8 of 14 shooting from the stripe, 57%. Zingle does a good job outpacing Casper, who was back defensively, and then trying to save the basketball, and does, as Wagler with the old-fashioned shoe shine. Zingle to inbound, left side of the transparent backboard towards the far end of the court. Finds Mack at the point, steps inside the horseshoe. She has Matlock on her left hip. Zingle power dribble against Casper, scores over the top of the senior guard. And Zingle, 3 of 3 from the field, 6 points, 2 rebounds. Casper Oscillating the ball with her right hand. Looks for Odell left wing, but instead keeps it herself. Now she'll go with a very narrow bounce pass and a shallow bounce pass now to Petty. Petty skips it left wing. Casper sets herself, but then she'll kind of go with a side twist and reverse it back to the point. She's defended by Wagler. Petty awaits the high ball screen set by Pinamani, but Pinamani decides to flare over to the far side elbow. Pinamani tied up with Cox, and it's a jump ball, Purple Dragon possession. And Kidd will sub back in, this time for Zoe Pinamani, who's done a great job providing support off the bench.
I'd say everybody who came off the bench so far, Cameron's put up some big minutes. Cassidy, Odell, the Pinamani's just a great job.
A very, very young bench, all sophomores. Casper inbounds, tried to find Kidd, but Max swats it away. Transition is Wagler, but her right foot scraped the sideline, and it will be Purple Dragon basketball, so an inconsequential steal by Joplin. And a substitution for PHS, as it will be Sophia Pinamani coming in for Cassidy Odell. I just want to know which Pinamani sister is older, because one had to come before the other. I think Sophia Pinamani is the elder one.
I couldn't tell you.
I think. Casper dribbling, right hand interchanging with Petty before kicking the ball over left wing to Sophia Pinamani. Petty, her three contested, but uses the window.
How about the first three made right there for Petty?
Up fake on the right wing by Wagler, but she dragged her foot. So there's the travel. 39-33 the score. The Dragons lead it by 6 as they extend their largest lead of the night. Petty 1 of 6 shooting from downtown following the made 3. 6:30 left in the ball game. 6-point lead for the Dragons, who are seeking their second win on the year. Casper harassed, thinking that she has Sophia Pinamani. Does bowl the pass over to the left corner. Pinamani picks up her dribble, pressure by Wagler. Wagler gets a mid on it for a second, but then Casper crosses over in front of her. Casper has the ball poked loose, and the offense stagnates. Coach Krotz uses a timeout, a full timeout, so 60 seconds before the Dragons work their way back out onto the court, but a 6-point lead for PHS over their Missouri counterpart in the Joplin Eagles. We step aside for 30 seconds to bring you back more action from your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
The true test of a great insurance agency comes when you suffer a loss. It's easy to take the but Ray Ryan of Ryan Insurance of Pittsburg knows is risk insured.
Chance out there, not just sold themselves, make sure it gets handled in an honest, respectable way.
Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh, a trusted choice agency. Find them fast at names and numbers.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
And a very welcome back to Pittsburg High School. Cam Molina, Avi Sharma, Shelby White, our board op tonight. A special shout out to Shelby White, always making sure we stay on air, as well as Tyler Darrow, Heath Evans, and Michael Snow.
You had to name all of them, didn't you?
Yeah, had to name all of them. 6:12 left in the contest. Dragons lead by 6, 39-33, trailed at halftime by 3, after 1 by 7, and now they have their largest lead of the contest at 6 as Petty hit a three-pointer before the timeout was used. Casper will have a stack set in front of her on a far side out. Matlock trickles in to the furthest recesses of the front court. And then Sophia Pinamani works her way to the right wing as Casper has the sphere, tries to attack inside, jackknifing away from Zingle. However, the ball's poked loose. Everyone's on the floor. Jump ball, possession, arrow, Eagles. Inbound by Keenel. Left side of the backboard towards the near side of the court, and we'll find Zingle. Zingle crosses the prime meridian, dribbling with her left hand. She's trying to find Keenel, but instead it's a good defense by the Dragons all around. Mack, high post 3. No, rebound by Casper. So Casper with her 5th rebound of the night. And when I said 3, I meant 2. And then Petty on the opposite end goes from right corner, attacks baseline, chucks it up with one hand, finish it, but it's a foul on the floor. 18th foul committed by Joplin, and that is the second on Cox. So 1-and-1 scenario for this Pittsburg High School team. Petty goes to the stripe, shooting 4 of 4 tonight, and as a unit, 8 of 14. Petty kicks up her left foot, short. Tipped up by Kidd, trying to track it down. Second opportunity, fortuitously lands to the hand of Matlock, and then chucks it up with the right hand. The floater goes. Kidd with extreme amount of effort to save the basketball. A great play by the senior. Zengel picks up her dribble. Smith to her right, flanking her. She'll curl in front of Zengel and snatch the basketball away. Her bun behind her. Cox's three, right side of the orange. Shirks off, rebound by Matlock, and then Zingel's bumped into, or rather Zengel bumps into Casper, and the ball still goes out of bounds. No foul, and Kratz is looking at the official saying, how is that not a foul? My girl was just trucked over, and Mack will sub out for Joplin, which will bring in, I believe, Wagler again.
And now the press is applied, Cameron.
Matlock catches it in the backcourt. Over to Petty, then Casper. Casper past the timeline, oscillating the ball with the right hand, goes right in with the right hand. George Gervin lay-in, uncontested. 12 points for Casper and shows off her blinding speed. Double-digit lead for the first time tonight for the Dragons, and Jeff Williams now wanting to use a timeout. And Coach Williams complaining to the left, saying that there was an elbow used on the shot by Casper. We've taken plenty of breaks, so we'll keep it here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. And you know, I'm at least assuming that us talking may provide a better source of entertainment than just some commercials. But
and we don't need to wear Shelby White out down at the studio.
Yeah, he says he has plenty of spots and that he's not burdened. But regardless, Pittsburg High School having in this contest, trailing by 7 after 1, battling back in the second quarter, tying it up, and eventually taking the lead with 45 seconds remaining, losing that lead following some free throws from Daly Smith. But then in the third quarter, Pittsburg High School put the pedal to the metal. We saw some three-pointers, or a three-pointer attempted in that quarter. But then eventually, the free throws started coming to this team. They started executing from the line. Abby Casper had some easy looks. She's a good right-hand driver, scored through traffic, and then Caitlin Kidd and the rest of this team, phenomenal job rebounding, a 22-10 rebounding advantage for the Dragons. That's plus 12 on the glass, most of those offensive.
Yeah, Cameron, this is a different story from what it was last night against the Blue Comets. It was second chance points for the Blue Comets that they kept scoring. Now it's the second chance points for this Purple Dragons team. Look what happens when they get that second chance. They've converted almost every single time.
And the killer mentality starting to come out from the Dragons as they are up 10, 43-33. And a cutting Wagler tosses it up. Kidd slides over defensively, following the errant shot by Wagler. Zengel rebounds, and then Kidd hit Zengel on the arm, following the offensive board and the attempted putback.
Kidd almost got away with it. She had her hands up, Cameron, but at the end, you just saw that right hand go right down to commit the foul.
And the Eagles will be in the bonus throughout the rest of this ball game. 43-33 the score. Dragons leading by 10. First free throw from Zengel does not go. Her second opportunity is good.
Now the press will be applied. Pittsburg has to overcome this.
And it looks like a man-to-man press. Casper rushing baseline, tries to find Sophia Pedamani, but good defense by Wagler knocking it away. .446 left in the contest. 43-34 is the score. Dragons lead. It will be in Joplin inbound. Zengel scans, looks in the front court, and she has Keenel. Keenel brings the ball to her left ear, almost like a conch shell, before hitting the ball up to the torso level of Zengel, and a foul by Casper. She was just overzealous defensively, and that's the 8th team foul by the Dragons. And this has been also a point of issue, late game execution from the Dragons.
That comes from not having a lot of experience in this situation, Cameron. We mentioned it, a lot of young talent out there. Casper and Kidd, the only seniors.
Zengel misses her free throw. She's now 1 of 4 on the night. Casper with the board. She's tripped up. 19th foul committed by Joplin, and Casper to the stripe. Casper slow to get up, but man, she is such a gritty player. We see nothing but passion from her on the floor, and her willingness, much like Petty, Kidd, the rest of this entire roster, to sell out their bodies and give the team a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance.
That's the kind of players you want to have, Cameron. Coach Kratz has got to love the girls that he has. There's nothing but effort all around.
Keenel's second foul. Casper no good, and then a behind the back, or over the back, excuse me, by Kidd, her third, and it's just been a foul fest the last 45 seconds.
The over-aggressiveness by the Purple Dragons, and now we're just switching ends now. And now it's the opportunity for the Eagles to get some points from the charity stripe.
Keto will shoot with her white shin guards, gray shoes, and black socks. Sets the ball knee level. Takes her time, flicks off the back iron, rebound by Matlock. It's knocked out of her hand, but Zingle tried to slap it away. However, she was out of bounds. Casper to inbound, right side of the goal. Slaps the ball hard with her left hand, looks for Petty, who's cutting in front of her. No one there. Has Sophia Penamani. Penamani back to Casper. Casper has a head full of steam, but slows down. The goal runs out. Matlock flashes to the point. Casper looking for a flaring Petty. Casper, ball poked out from behind. Great rip by Wagler. Wagler transition, turns on the thruster, chalks it up. Cannot score. Rebound by Zingle. Zingle right hand floater, no. And a rebound by Kidd, and she's fouled. 10th team foul by the Eagles. Kidd goes to the stripe for the double bonus.
And I tell you, both Coach Williams and Coach Crotch not happy with the officiating. And that is it for Zingle.
Zingle with 5, and her night is done.
She's the point guard of this team too, Cameron. That's a big loss with 4:09 left in the game.
On the floor for each team, beginning with Joplin, it's Keenel, Wagler, as well as the recently subbed in Ispin, Cox, and Smith. As Kidd's first free throw, smooches off the lip of the iron, takes a high skip and goes through. Back to a 10-point lead for the Dragons, 44-34. 4:09 left in the fourth. And as for the Dragons, Casper, Sophia Penamani, Kidd, Matlock, and Petty, the starting 5. Squatting way down is Kidd. Her free throw, good. And
Kidd has been double.
Yeah, she's close to it.
Oh.
She went 2 of 2 from the stripe. 3 of 4 overall on the night for 15 points. On the opposite end, Wagler is able to wheel inside. Casper gets lost in the thicket between Kidd and herself, and then Wagler just takes advantage and nearly scores. Either way, she's fouled. That's 4 on Casper, 4 big fouls, especially for the point guard of this team, and you still have 4 minutes to go. And Riley Johnson is also in a predicament with 4 fouls herself. She was yanked out in the second. First free throw from Wagler. No, 45-34 the score, 11-point lead for the Dragons, 4 minutes left. Wagler, free throws down the stretch have been missed by this club. As a unit, 4 of 11 in the contest. Casper picks up her dribble, right block, bounce pass. Sophia Penamani lines it, top of the key to Matlock. Matlock relocates the ball to Petty, left wing, goes up through traffic as she curled inside, misses her first shot. Kidd with the offensive rebound. She cannot convert. Petty with the board, and she's fouled from behind by Cox. And Coach Crotch wanted a foul much earlier than that, and Kidd was whacked in the post.
I don't know how she got 2 rebounds out of that, Cameron. That was impressive.
So 3 offensive rebounds for the Dragons on that offensive sequence. Out-rebounding Joplin 26-11. Petty sets her feet, knocks down her first free throw. Petty has a very unusual free throw style where she always kicks up her left foot and then holds the ball at an angle, almost like with her elbow out, kind of like Lonzo Ball in the NBA. Petty misses. No, she makes her second free throw. The ball dangled on the right side of the rim and then fell through. 47-34 the score. 3:36 left in the ballgame. Keenel could not hold on to the basketball, mishandles it for a second before gathering it. Cox fade away too, had the shot tipped, I think, and then Kidd now has a double-double, 15 points, 10 rebound, does so on back-to-back nights. Petty dribbles right hand, is able to whip and pass over right corner. Sophia Penamani, no. Well off the mark, rebound by Wrangler, and then Cox leaks out in transition. Petty somehow recovers, then Cox tries to pop it, does not go. Kidd, 11th rebound. Cox with the rush shot and then a foul by Joplin. And 2 free throws now for Casper, as that was close to a travel in the backcourt by Casper, and that is on Smith, her first. So Casper goes to the free throw line, shooting 2 of 5 in the ball game. Situates herself low, ball near the knees, flicks and it goes through, forcing the net to flip up above the rim and wave.
How about the free throw shooting from this Purple Dragon team, Cameron? Just a good job all around today. think you mentioned it against Chanute. They had a very good outing at the charity stripe, and now tonight doing it yet again to add to the lead now is up to 14.
Casper 3 of 6 from the stripe. Petty, or rather Casper can go 4 of 7 here with Petty standing behind the arc. And Casper goes 1 of 2. She's now 3 of 7. 13 points in the ball game and a travel following the rebound. Ipsid thought she had the cutting Quinn and walked with it. 3 minutes left. Dragons with a 14-point lead, 48-34, and can win back-to-back games for the first time this season.
Like I said, no Zengel. She fouled out. That's your key point guard, so there's the sloppiness.
Sophia Penamani relocates the ball left wing to Casper. Casper urging the offense to move quickly still and put the foot on the neck of this Eagle team. And then Penamani inside the key travels with it, dragged her back right foot. 2:53 left in the fourth, 48-34 the score.
That was a great move by Penamani. She just, jogged her feet a little bit there, shuffled her feet. That's the word I was looking for. As she didn't hop step, and that's what Coach Crotch has been preaching tonight. Is get that hop step in so you can get confident in your shot.
Matea Fowler subs in for the Eagles for the first time tonight. Cox past the prime meridian, dodges past Kidd. Beautiful bounce pass to Fowler, but she's fouled by Matlock, and Matlock has a puzzled look on her face, one that's almost comedical. She kind of had her eyebrows raised and looked over at her teammate in Casper and shrugged.
She's not the only one. If you would have looked over here, Coach Crotch, he couldn't even believe it. He had to walk off because he didn't like that call.
Second foul by Matlock in this contest. First free throw is good by Fowler. Fowler with a backup opportunity here. Takes 2 dribbles at the line, sets the ball chest level. Second one no good. Mack is unable to reel in the rebound. Eagles 5 of 13 from the stripe, 48-35 the score. Dragons up 13, 2:30 to go. Casper with an open free throw line jump shot, but leaves it short. She rushed it. Kidd with the offensive board, unable to go. She and Mack battle for the board, and it slopped out of bounds. It will be Purple Dragon basketball inbound from the nearest corner towards the Purple Dragon bench. Casper, pass fake to Petty, and a push inside the area of action. And it looked like it may have been on a Dragon. It was. It is on Kidd, her 4th. So double bonus still in effect for the Eagles. And it will be Matt going to the free throw line from what I can see. Under 2:30 left in the ball game and a 13-point lead for the Dragons. Once trailing by 7 points. Mack's first shot, air ball. Mack shooting her first and second opportunity from the free throw line tonight. Recomposed herself, about 2 steps away from the line, steps forward, staggers her feet right in front of left. Takes 3 dribbles, sets at her waist, stares at the rim. Second free throw, that one was beautiful though, as it swished through. Casper using her right hand to conduct traffic. Petty right back to Casper in the backcourt. Cox right there looking for the double team with Quinn. Now it'll be Wrangler coming to defend at the point against Casper, but Sophia Penamani has a left block, tries to go with a spin move, but instead finds Matlock, and good job by Sophia Penamani keeping her eyes up, locating Matlock for the bucket. 50-36 is the score. Crossover right to left by Quinn. Quinn chucks it back to Mack at the point. Petty reads the pass, comes away with the steal, has Wrangler behind her. In transition, Petty goes up to the body. Wrangler scores! +1! The acrobatics from Petty on full display tonight. 15 points, matching her season average. She jumped from 12 points per game to 15 points per game last night after dropping 31 on Chanute. 4th foul on Wagler. 52-36 the score. The Dragons up 16. Under 2 minutes to go. Petty on the and one no. And I'm not sure what the officials were thinking. Coach Williams, much like myself, is thinking, why are there 2 free throws? And Coach Williams says, what the expletive is going on, or something to that nature. Yeah, that's just inattentiveness by everyone all around. Cox loses her handle on the sphere. Casper comes up with a steal. Casper with the leather in her right hand. Hop step, right hand, laying good. Casper 6 of 8 from the floor, 15 points, 5 rebounds. at the point. Pass fake by Fowler. Matlock defending her, staring her down, really glaring at her. Mack steps through in front of Kidd, does not finish. Offensive board by Cox. Cox loses the sphere. Left wing, with it is Quinn. Quinn sets herself high, arcing three, and the rainbow does not plop through. Cox keeping it alive, but instead Sophia Pinamani is able to spear the ball. Pinamani with 3 rebounds. She and her sister Zoe combined have 6 boards. Casper picks up her dribble, left double with a minute left. Petty wheels inside, is tripped up, decides to toss up a Hail Mary, nearly converts. And with 1:06 exactly left in the ball game, she'll head to the free throw line and she will shoot 2. She's only missed 1 free throw tonight, and that was on her last attempt. As a unit, the Dragons +7 in free throw makes, +6 in attempts. And there's about to be 2 more here from Petty as her first free throw is good.
In the game for Joplin, number 1, Aiden Perrin.
Perrin will sub in for Joplin, as will Madeline Farber and Keenel. So I think the flag has been waved by Coach Williams as Petty goes 2 of 2, 8 a night in the contest, 17 points, 3 rebounds. A minute left, 56-36 the score. Dragons 20-plus points and already high fives on the bench from Coach Krotz. And I think that's a big, big building block for this team. Yeah. Fowler offensive rebound on the opposite end and is able to put it through. And Petty will cross the prime meridian, dribble with the right hand. 45 ticks left. Defense sags off slightly. Quinn comes out to defend. Pinamani finds Matlock. Left corner, Casper. Casper hit on the arm by Perrin, but is able to shake her off after shrugging off Perrin. Back to Petty. Petty looking to dump it off. Releases a fluttering pass to her left side, about 2 steps away as Matlock finds Pinamani left corner. Back to Petty. And 23 ticks left. This one is just about done. 56-36 most likely the final score unless there is a foul. But Coach Krotz and company needed these 2 victories right before Christmas break. And they are just 2 games under 500 instead of 4. And this Dragon team close to peaking at the right time as Fort Scott is awaiting this club as soon as Christmas break is over. And an early present for the Dragons. Their second victory of the season, an 18-point blowout against the Eagles. Early obstacles in the form of the 3-ball for Pittsburg High early on. None of their shots sank. They just shot 1 of 7 from downtown. But Joplin shot 3 of 6 right before the intermission. But Pittsburg High School never gave in. They had 2 scorers who at least hit 15 points in Abby Casper, Caitlin Matlock, and Madden Petty. And we will step aside for 2 minutes, come back with final statistics, and be joined by Pittsburg High School girls basketball coach Chris Krotz here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Remember first, safety always. It's not just the Watco way. I'm focusing on safety each and every.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union with locations in Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI Quality Structures Incorporated specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do is right on cue.
Or at a branch near you. Commerce Bank. Challenge accepted. Member FDIC.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
A final welcome back to Pittsburg High School. Avi Sharma, the special shout out to Shelby White once again for being an excellent board op, as well as Cam Molina with you. Last time before Christmas break that the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons will play, and a positive outcome as the Dragons win 56-38 over the visiting Joplin Eagles. Let's quickly take you through tonight's statistics, beginning with the hometown Dragons. 3 rebounds for Zoe Pinamani, 3 big rebounds, including an assist to Caitlin Kidd right before the third quarter ended, and that resulted in a Kidd bucket to give the Dragons a 5-point edge heading into the fourth quarter of play. 4 points for Matlock, including 3 rebounds. Kidd able to record back-to-back double-doubles in both the sense of in-game and in days, as the Dragons have played 5 games in 8 days, including back-to-back, one in Chanute yesterday and a 72-70 overtime win. And then tonight, 15 points, 12 rebounds to reiterate. Cassidy Odell off the bench, 5 points, 1 rebound. Sophia Pinamani, 3 rebounds off the bench. Abby Casper, 15 points, 5 rebounds. And Madden Petty, 17 points, 3 rebounds, and she's able to maintain that 15-point per game average. She did struggle from 3, as did the rest of the Dragons, shooting just 1 of 7 from downtown, but really took it to the Eagles from the free throw line. They were +9 in makes and +8 in attempts. The Dragons hitting 15 free throws, the Eagles hitting 6. The Dragons taking 23 free throw attempts, and the Eagles taking 15. As for the Eagles scores, 2 points for Gabriella Quinn, 7 points for Jessica Zengel, 5 points for Malia Mack, 3 points for Wagler, 8 points for Cox, 10 points for Smith, and 3 points for Fowler off of the bench. And Avi, the biggest statistics, since we in the media pride ourselves on looking for something of substance and then sharing it with everybody else, that's at the root what this job is, but a +19 advantage off the glass for the Dragons. Just an absolutely mind-boggling number. I do not have the offensive rebound to defensive rebound ratio situated or specified, but I mean, it had to at least be close to a +8 or 9 rebound advantage offensively, and the rest of it was defensively. But this team did such a fantastic job fighting for rebounds, remaining aggressive, battling for the 50-50 balls, and scoring with those second chance opportunities.
Well, Kara, I just don't think there was a single Eagle player over there that could stop Caitlin Kidd. I mean, she was just on a mission as a back-to-back double-double games for her. She did a fantastic job. But, Cameron, I got to congratulate the girls coming off the bench. I was very impressed with all of them, the young talent that this team has, and they did a phenomenal job stepping up in big minutes because there was foul trouble going on, and it was just a great showing by them. And then whenever the starters, who were a little bit gassed because of the long weeks that they've had, and then they finally came back out and they hit from the charity stripe. They just did everything that they needed to, and this is a very, very good win for this team to end the year to get ready for next year.
To quickly go over the scoring recap per quarter, 15-8 Joplin led after one. That would be their largest lead of the night at 7. The Dragons do a great job parrying, only trailing by 3 at halftime. They did tie the Eagles with 45 seconds left in the half before Joplin hit a free throw and also a lay-in. And then Pittsburg High School tied up the Eagles in the third quarter with 1:45 left at 30 apiece, and then took the lead just a few seconds later with 1:27 left in the third. The score was 32-30 at that point, and then led by 5 heading into the final quarter, and then outscoring the Eagles in the fourth quarter 20-7. So a superb outing for the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons girls basketball team, as they are victors on back-to-back nights, downing the Chanute Blue Comets in a double overtime thriller, which potentially could have been avoided. As they were up 15 points, regardless of victory there. And then winning tonight against a pesky Eagles team that had played 9 games on the year, a lot of experience, 4 starting seniors, and you have to really commend the team, especially on that. You're taking on a club that has 4 seniors. There's a lot more experience there, and despite that gap in knowledge and in game time, they were still able to overcome what was an early deficit and win.
Yeah, I thought it was a good effort and a good showing by these girls. Cameron, we never have to question the effort by these Purple Dragons, as they have nothing but hustle all along from every single player. We've seen it time and time and again, whether it's the extra rebound or the extra dive and body to go get the ball. It's just a great team effort, a good win. Now they can finally relax, get a breather, enjoy the holidays with their family, and then, like I said, next year it's a whole new ball game as it's SEK time as they get to play everybody in the conference.
And Avi, we've already previewed at least 2 teams in the SEK, and Independence and Parsons, and I mean the SEK is going to be a dogfight. Parsons has Nina Taylor. We saw Independence, a well-rounded club. That's completely ignoring potentially the best team in the conference in Labette County, and Tristan Gagg, who at the beginning of the year broke the SEK all-time scoring record on either side of the basketball, boys or girls. And I mean, there are so many teams that can vie on a night-in, night-out basis for that league crown. I mean, even Chanute, we saw it last night. That was a club that, despite trailing late in game, still battled back and forced back-to-back overtime. So the SEK, there's going to be some barn burners there, especially for this girls team that has struggled at times, but has gradually and massively improved.
You did that for Shelby White there.
Yeah, just a little bit, just a little shout out to him. But Coach Krotz currently talking with his girls in the locker room. I think we're going to go ahead and give him a present and let him skip his media obligations tonight. Final score 56-38. The Purple Dragons advanced to 2-4 on the season, winning back-to-back games for the first time this year as well. Madden Petty with 17 points. And with that, a final sign-off, and we will see you back at the beginning of the 2018 calendar year. From Avi Sharma, Shelby White back at our KSHQ studio, I'm Cam Molina. Happy tidings, happy holidays, have fun, be safe if any of you are traveling. And this has been your home of Purple Dragon Athletics, ESPN 100.7.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins, SK Care.